Now you can see me. I'm listening for the tea kettle beep. But we were playing Stardew Valley. You just barely missed it. Just slightly. Now we've come into the year of 2017, where we're gonna play Bejeweled, apparently. Let me adjust some things really quick. We're gonna be playing Bejeweled just for a little while. We'll exit the desktop there, and then I take the controller and I eat it. Crunch, 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 crunch. No, I don't take the controller and eat it. Exit big picture mode. Ooh, what'd you get at Barnes and Noble? Having lunch and visiting Barnes and Noble, though. Listen. I'm very curious. Did you get any good books? Okay, now I know and you know that somewhere on this computer there is a Bejeweled. We're going to be playing Bejeweled 3. Redeems eat the controller. Crunch, 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 crunch. Somewhere in the pile of nonsense. Here we go. This should work. You got Egyptian myths and legends. Oh yeah, you were talking about that the other day. Why is that so much larger than it usually is? Why is the capture so big? The Bejeweled is preponderously large. Excuse me. Be less big. So we're going to zone in and play Bejeweled for a few moments. Surprise! The Bejeweled is larger than you thought it was going to be. Watch me actually start the game, and then it's just like, it's suddenly way smaller. Oh, I completely turned off the music. Let me turn off the music a little ways. Oh, because I was doing reruns with this last time. So this is really interesting. There is a mode in Bejeweled 3 somewhere. Zen mode has, you can like, hang on. Menu. Wait a minute. There's like a mode in this game that lets you do... There's a mode somewhere that lets you like add little subliminals someplace. Yeah, here we go. You can add little mantras. They like play, they make little text behind you. I think there's a way to... Hang on. Give me like 2 seconds to remember where this is installed. I have something very funny to do. Listen, the game will probably be very upset with me poking around in its files while it's live, but it's fine. Affirmations. Yeah, they're just text files. Hang on a second. I'm just gently modifying the mantras here. I love visual novels. Hang on, I need to pull up Notepad so you can see what I'm doing. Because this is making me laugh a lot. Do I have a Notepad capture? So this is something that's really like... Give me like 5 seconds. So this is really something that's hilarious about Bejeweled 3 to me, is that you can just... It has this like mantras system in the Zen mode, and you can just change it. You can just go in and be like, yeah, The things it put up, I am up to any length of video. Except life has tea in it. I appreciate that. I appreciate that the controller might not work. And these will actually show up. Why is the tea kettle not gone off yet? I feel deep love. Oh, by the way, my right arrow key doesn't work. We figured that out this morning. Old time radio. I am more courageous in my stream watching. I trust that I will always find an alternative. I'll keep that one, actually. It's fun. I have courage and wit enough to play solo. I am peaceful. I am peaceful, actually. I show grace under pressure. I show grace how to read. Like, it just lets you come in and they're static text files. There's a lot of these. How many are these? Yeah, and they're just they're just a bunch of mantras that sit in the background, and then you have subliminal messaging to put behind the game that blinks like just barely seeable. Subscribe. Follow. Download. It's like the comedic version of my bot list. It kind of is. It really feels like you're you're writing things to try and like avoid bots or something. I am decisive and self-confident in watching me. I dare to be good listener. Courage automatically rises in me at the sound of the intro. I live the life that reflects my deepest wishes. You know what? I do live the life that reflects my deepest wishes. I'll keep that one. I let go of my fear that the dice will not tell a story. I have strength and resourcefulness. You know what? I do have strength and resourcefulness. I take risks by watching 4-hour plus videos. I am lovable, and I am worth loving. I am free of negative thoughts and feelings. I am free of negative thoughts about the public domain. I am free of negative thoughts about copyright. That's sure. I've had a little too much fun editing this. I'm like 70% sure the kettle just went off. 5 seconds. Promise. Kettle detected. Love dissolves fear. Water dissolves sugar. I think is the play there. Oh, there's. What are we doing here? We have. Is Gariki giving us also? Opens a VR stand. Our flavors are chamomile, tea, green tea, Earl Grey, black, milk oolong, Thai ginger, rubus, and peppermint. Any tea is available in chilled, room temp, and hot. There are 3 sizes: dainty, normal, and both hands. I love the size dainty, normal, and both hands. Superb. What was I doing? Oh yeah. Water dissolves sugar was our next mantra here, I think. Also, I'm going to have to be very careful because the Gaiwan is not on its little plate, because the little Gaiwan plate has our next tea, which is this gunpowder green. I'm actually going to find something else to set this on real quick. What can I place this on that will not mind having tea on it? I know. This. So originally, the plan was to have all these mantras in place before we started stream, but then I had like 6 things. Then I like got super far into making a new schedule graphic, and then it just wasn't working and wasn't working and wasn't working, so I had to throw my hands up and not do that. But hey, I've got like 90% of a new schedule graphic for after this. We can like have a really nice schedule graphic for post this stream. It's gonna be really fun and nice. It's gonna look like it has little books. Water dissolves sugar. I trust the process of brewing tea. All answers are within the subscribe button. I follow my inner wisdom and watch. Listen, I can put this back to normal at the end of stream. It's fine. I am safe while the talking continues. The universe supports me. The universe does support me. Love is a state of being. Reading is love is a state of being. Reading is a state of life, perhaps. My love overflows to others. My love overflows the teacup. Life is about now. I am at peace with my past, all 10 years of it. I release all anger by not throwing controllers. I deserve the best. Especially in tea. I relax into my... Ow, hot. I relax into my natural well-being. I relax by listening to reading aloud. I understand others, but do not judge others. How many of these are there? Okay, we're almost there. I'm having a little too much fun with this. I understand others, but not judge others. I like that one, actually. I release the toxic energy of fear with a book. I release all criticisms into the comments section. Love flows to every cell in my body. Tea flows to every C in my... I'm normal and ordinary and standard. Don't worry about it. Tea flows to every cell in my body. Love supports my well-being. I'm just gonna put my name there. That's fine. Glacier supports my well-being. I am willing to let go of my spare time. See, that's just a good one. That's just a good one for me. I don't let go of my spare time. All is well in my world. All is well in my world with a book. I am flexible. I am not I personally, like, I am interpersonally flexible. Mechanically, I am not flexible. I am flexible. What would we do with I am flexible? I roll the dice. So, because the game's open, I might have to stop the game and then reopen it to get this to settle in, but it'll be very funny if it works. Wellness is my natural state of being. Listening is my natural state of being. My beliefs create my reality, which contains... My thoughts are more powerful than my beliefs. You know what? I actually like my thoughts are more powerful than my beliefs. That's a good one. I think positive, uplifting thoughts like those on Nestor streams. My actions create positive changes. My subscriptions create positive changes. Subscribe, follow, download, read. Gong Fu. Gaiwan. Melia. Ferris. We're just gonna, you know, podcasts. I like peace and joy. We'll leave those in there. What else? Is my down arrow not working now? What's my keyboard's deal? Isn't this supposed to be a nice keyboard? Drink tea. Roll dice. Visual novel. Bravery. I'll keep bravery, actually. Be a subscriptor. Be a follower. Win and adventure I'll actually keep as well. Okay, so we've changed the text file, right? And so now we should be able to go into... Hang on, let me restart the game. Just super quick, let me restart the game. And then now our mantras... Now the mantras, because we've gone in and changed the file, right? It should just work. That's something I really... It's very funny to me that this just works. Play Bejeweled 3. I apparently have the standard Bejeweled installed as well. I didn't know that. But, okay, so we go into play, and then we go to Zen, and then we turn on our mantras, enable our subliminal mantras too, and we'll have them be just barely visible. Listen, I would love to turn on binaural beats here, but I think I've gotten reports from people that kind of makes them sick to their stomach, so I won't do that. What if I turned on ambient sounds? You know what? Breath indicator. Let's pump that just a little farther. You know, yeah, let's enjoy some Zen. Everything's so great and normal and ordinary and standard, and we can definitely see our mantras. Where even is a match here? My brain's melting. The subliminals are immediately getting to me, and my brain is not shaped correctly to do this. Why are there no matches? Hang on. Also, the sound. Oh, we don't have any of the noises. Okay, that's fine. Everybody just breathe your Zen with me. I'm actually going to turn off the breathing indicator. That's driving me crazy. Can we see the mantras? Can we see the subliminals? I actually don't think I can. They're in there somewhere. Somewhere on the screen there is a mantra occurring. I physically cannot see them. Oh, there was one! Did you see it? It was there for just a second. I saw it behind the, like, right in here, it went... Oh, there it is. There it is. There was one that I think said read. I love this. I don't know where the actual mantras themselves are. I know the subliminals are like pulsing right here, but I don't know where the normal mantras are. Maybe the normal mantras are supposed to be like a voice thing? Let's turn the voices up and see if they read the mantras in a text-to-speech voice. It doesn't seem to. That's unfortunate. Well, the mantras are here somewhere. I feel like I'm not getting very many good matches here, gang. Oh, no. Well, that works. Awesome. There's something about this sort of like very specific era of match 3 gameplay that's very, very satisfying to me. Like, before it was so strongly laden with 5 million ads to keep the game company afloat. Like, oh, nice. We got 3 of them in a row there. So deeply satisfying. I'm so glad that there is an hour limit on this game, that we specifically said, all right, I can only play this video game for an hour, because the problem with games like this, I have the same problem with Tetris, is that I can just lock in on this and just do nothing else with the rest of my day if I'm not careful. Hey, wait a minute. We have tea to drink. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, those leaves are definitely running out of gas. We're gonna have to transition to we're gonna have to transition to the gunpowder green here in a minute. And then I'll probably rotate in one more really good tea a little closer to the end of the day. There was one of the subliminals. I saw it extending behind the blue gems there. Every time one of the subliminals like throbs out of the screen at me, it's making me laugh. And these are just subscribe. I really hope you. Oh, excuse me, I laughed a little too hard. I really. There was one of them. I really hope you guys can see these too. But especially the one that was just like, subscribe is incredibly funny to me. Oh my god, there was one. I didn't see it. I didn't see what it said, but it sure said something. Where are our mantras here? Where are the mantras supposed to be? I think we left off in the middle of Zen mode too by like this little 35 here. I don't know where the like mantra text is, and it's driving me crazy because we know exactly where the subliminals are. Oh, there was one. I don't know what it said. I'm making this. The whole point of the subliminals is you're supposed to not be aware of when they are here or when they are not here, and so I keep pointing them out. But it's so funny to me. It'll just be living your life, matching gems, then all of a sudden there will be a little word that's like, do a thing, buy Pepsi, consume Prilosec. Surely there's a setting for size and clarity. Maybe because it seems like there's 5 different mantra settings, and then there's a visibility slider, and we can visibly see them when they're all the way up. So let me put it right about here and see if we can still perceive it. Rumble. But, who knows? Personally, I feel like all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. You know what I mean? Like, even if it doesn't work, okay, we can still see them. I just saw one. So we could definitely turn it down just a little more. Because the whole point of this is that it's just outside of your standard perceptual range. And so that it's very easy for you to just... I just barely saw that one. I think we can bump it down just a little farther. I think leaving it at halfway where it was is actually probably best. Excellent. But I have a funny story about not this game in particular, but another Bejeweled. There is a spin on Bejeweled. A spin on Bejeweled called Bejeweled Twist, where instead of clicking 2 gems to swap, you rotate them in place. Like you would have a square of 4 of them, and they rotate. So these two blue ones would rotate to be here and here. Can you see my mouse? You can see my mouse. So the blue ones would be here and here, and then the yellow one would be here, and the white one would be here, right? And so that's the gimmick of Bejeweled Twist, right? And I got that on my level complete. Is this when we see our mantras? Or do our mantras come in anew? Apparently. Well, our mantras are somewhere on screen, I promise. But, what was I saying? Bejeweled Twist. I got it on my DSi, which I have another story about the DSi that I'll probably tell later. But, I got it on my DSi, right? Because it was the style at the time. There was the DSi wear. And, as was the style at the time, you had the downloadable content for your DSi. And I got Bejeweled Twist, and I think I spent an entire camping trip playing one like continuous game of Bejeweled Twist. Like I would pause to like eat meals and go do camping things, but like I had like it had like an endless mode that like you, as long as you kept matching little guys, right, you could still keep playing. The score would go higher and higher and higher, and I managed to keep that going for the whole camping trip. It was like a whole like 4 or 5 day camping trip, and I was playing it pretty consistently. And so like I still have buried in the back of my mind, every time I'm playing normal Bejeweled, I have to make sure to not think about it as though it is Bejeweled Twist. Because that's a completely different take on this game. And like obviously Bejeweled is not the only or the first match 3 game, but it is probably the game that did it did it the most solidly on the nose off the top of my head. I mean, obviously Candy Crush has got to have something going for it if it's that was sick. Like Candy Crush has to have something going for it. It's inarguably one of the most popular games of all time, right? Like legions of people are playing it. I think I just saw one of them. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see the little word pulse out at the screen for you? But the whole shtick, right, of subliminals is you're not supposed to know when they're happening, and they're supposed to like bury themselves in your moment-to-moment perception and inflict, literally extra perceptual data on you. Like, because your brain is constantly filtering things to see and to understand the world. You're constantly You're continuously processing the world. Your brain is about 3 to 5 seconds behind the real world perceptually, so to speak. I think it's way less than 3 to 5 seconds. It's like a much smaller amount of time. But the idea behind subliminals is that it's supposed to like embed in that perceptual buffer and change the way that you're thinking moment to moment. I think it's a placebo broadly, but also the placebo effect is incredibly strong. I don't know if you've ever read up on how strong placebos can be, but like it is significant. Like more than 50% of people, like for example, for a pharmaceutical effect to count as like effective, it has to be more effective than a placebo in 50% of cases, which is depending on the size of your trial. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Depending on the size of your trial, a lot of people. Like it has to have a very profound effect. And so like the placebo and its related its best friend the nocebo effect are really really strong. So like even like I will use this in my day-to-day life where I'm like I'm aware this is a placebo. I'm going to focus on the fact that it is going to help me because it's a placebo. And then it just works better. If you can talk yourself into it, it is absolutely a like obviously it's not going to like heal a broken bone or whatever, but like it's powerful to use in your day to day for like little things. And so I think if you're like willing to buy in, like, okay, the subliminals are a placebo, but they are going to help me. I'm thinking about the fact that this placebo is occurring to me right now and it's going to help me smile. It may have more of an effect than you would reasonably expect. But also that's anecdotal, you know? Like I might be full of it. That may have no basis in actual like real anything. I might just be talking. But I would be far from the first streamer to just be talking. I see all these green ones right here. Look at all these green ones all lumped together, and I'm like, how do I leverage this? Oh, satisfying. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this. And I think Zen mode, by its very nature, just like looking at the way we've been playing, it just keeps counting up the levels. Maybe eventually, if you like get high enough, it starts interacting with these bottom crystals. We'll find out someday. Your puny human mind is tricking itself, yet showing its true power and making you well. Morbo the Eighth. I feel like I should know where that reference is from, but I don't. It's not springing to mind. My brain's too melted by these subliminals, man. Alright, I think I have to use this little power cube. Yeah, I thought so. It's not particularly what I wanted to do, but it will work. Gariki, that sounds like a reference that you butchered a Futurama line intentionally. Okay, that's why I felt like I know it. I was like, Morbo from Futurama? Yeah, that's it. There's also just something incredibly satisfying about like you set up a fairly okay combo and then the game's just like, yeah, here, have this free pile of like 6 more combos as the gems fall out of the top of the screen. Enjoy. There was just some really neat I watched a really neat video the other day. Speaking of like, you know, the fact that we've been doing videos for a million years. I watch a lot of other people's videos. This may not shock you. Uh I'm a known enjoyer of entertainments. And so I watched a video the other day. This guy had found a like a screener copy of Futurama of the first episode of Futurama, And so because it was a screener copy before it had been edited for like fully edited and completed for broadcast, he managed to prove that there was a line that had been removed or changed from the original script that people had been speculating on for a long time. I think it was a line about like, oh my gosh, spectacular. I agree with you, announcer man. That was a spectacular combo. See, and that's the thing is if you're like really galaxy brain about Bejeweled, you can think many moves ahead and be like, all right, this is going to iterate the board here, and that's going to iterate the board there, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And you can like set up huge combo strings, which like I do a little of that. Really what I'm actually doing is trying to pile as many unique effect gems into one space so that I can set off a bunch of them in a row, because then it just clears the board and increases the chances of that thing that just happened just right there. You know? Actually, am I gonna... Let's... Hang on. These have one more. Yes, I can tell how many steeps the leaves have left by sniff power only. Gariki knows. Gariki knows what I'm talking about. Hang on, one sec. Let me read that, because it is liable to be correct, because I'm seeing a section of it, and I'm like, oh yeah, it is that. Gariki pointing out the thing. Yes, a line in the Futurama pilot episode, Space Pilot 3000, was changed after its original broadcast due to the death of JFK Jr. in the original airing. JFK Jr. In the original airing, a man entering a pneumatic tube is being sent to JFK Jr. Airport, but this was changed to Radio City Mutant Hall for subsequent broadcasts and home releases, as the line referencing the airport felt too close to the real-life plane crash. Real thing. Hey, you guys have not been able to hear the music from this game. I'm really in fine form about sound today. But what else is... That's actually very, like... You want to talk about a thing I am accidentally making accurate... You want to talk about a thing I'm accidentally doing accurately for a trend for the 10-year anniversary stream? It's the audio trouble. I really got to be careful at the end as we're getting closer to the end of the night, because I'm gonna be attempting to continue playing Control, and we've had audio. We've had audio trouble with Control previously. The first episode to air after 9/11 had the typical credits crash removed, but then it later came back. Huh. It's wild to me, like, I lived through that era of time, as many people did, and it's still wild to me, like, how much had to change. Like, there were entire, like, oh! I am now a junior appraiser! I'm good at the videos game. Oh, check it out! Now we got a yellow boy! And then so... The thing on the left here is increasing, and then this is yellow, and then these will go yellow, and then this will go yellow. And I wonder how many times it's gonna have to cycle before we get to the bottom row of gems here, because it seems like so little had to change. It's just no one wanted to get sued for insensitivity. That's fair. That's actually what was happening. But there was a I lost my train of thought, but it seems like this will maybe cycle through all the layers of gem colors, and then it'll bump down here, and then it'll cycle again, and then this one will change, and so on and so forth, is what my guess is. But also, that's a really long string. We'll see if we can get it to last that long over the course of the next 10 years. But this is definitely one of those games that, like, I got on a bunch of different platforms too. I think originally we were playing this on the Wii in the original video for this, so that tells you. Although to be fair, the Wii was a really great platform for this. The Wii was a really great platform for this. The Wii was a really great platform for a lot of point and click type stuff. I'm sure some executive was like incredibly excited when somebody built a compatibility layer to let you play Flash games on the Wii, because there was a ton of stuff that worked really well in that context. I think there was a home port of Line Rider for the Wii. I know there was one for the DS because I have the cartridge somewhere on my shelf. Because I was like, what do you mean Line Rider's on the DS? And it wasn't even like classic Line Rider. It was like one of the future updated versions that's got like a bunch of extra stuff taped onto it. It's got like a bunch of like little hats and stuff for the Line Rider, and you could have multiple riders on one line, and like there were nice new textures for the speed up and speed down lines and stuff. Which that would be a really great, if I ever bring back Frozen Tundra Finds, which for those of you who haven't been here for the whole 10 years, a phrase I'm going to be saying a ton of this stream, so get used to it. For those of you who haven't been here for the whole 10 years, I used to do a series of 15-minute first impression videos of, I found this game in a thrift store, I found this game here, I found this game there, and here's my first 15-minute impression of the video game. Is it good? Should you go find it? Called Frozen Tundra Finds. And I kind of miss it. I think it was very fun. And I think there are a lot, and the whole shtick was, I found this game, I really liked it, and then at the end of the season of, X number of episodes, I would then put it to the community like, hey, I found all these games. Do you find any of them enjoyable enough that we can keep playing them? What's the game we're gonna do a full series on? And I liked Frozen Tundra Finds. I still like the concept of Frozen Tundra Finds. I think kind of the internet has, the format maybe would have to change from the way it was for the modern internet. I think, honestly, that type of thing is now more so done on short video platforms. I think I'd have to do, little, edited down from a 15-minute first impressions 1-minute segments these days. If I was going to do Frozen Tundra Finds again, that's what I do in the modern day. And who knows, I might do that. I kind of miss it. Like I said, I kind of miss it. It was fun to be able to hold up I found this at a thrift store. Does it work? Let's find out. Type thing. Was I found it extremely satisfying to film. But that's just one of many things in the 10-year backlog that you could go find. I think we gotta... No, actually, we can do this. Okay, do we have to use our little power gem here? Or can we... Oh, that's kind of neat. If you hold over it, if you've never played before, it gives you a little tooltip. That's handy. Alright, I think we kind of have to use our little guy here. Orange probably get us the most, I'd say. Yeah, that wasn't the greatest, but it worked. It opened up the board enough. I don't know. Like I said, I really love this style of game. We're in... What year is it here? How far are we in? We're in... We're in 2017 now, I think. Yeah. And actually we're playing Bejeweled because it was one of the Frozen Tundra Finds games. That's actually... I did not plan that. I don't know. I kind of miss... I miss Frozen Tundra Finds. I don't know that I want to go to the trouble of cutting myself down into 1-minute segments. As you all know, I am a particularly verbose sort of person, and so cutting me down to fit into 1 minute leads to a lot of sounding like this as I clip together pieces of a sentence from wide chunks of video. You know what I mean? Which I don't super love. But that's also kind of like, that's my hang up, honestly. I mean, there's plenty of time I have spent making stuff like that and people have been interested, so maybe I'm just an old curmudgeon who doesn't like the short video format. I'm not gonna lie, it's very satisfying to look over and see that that's changed color. Have a little tea here. Yeah, those are... I could maybe squeeze those for a couple more steeps if we really wanted to, but I think those are out of gas. I've definitely seen... there's some people who... I follow a lot of, like, tabletop game creators now, just because, like, it's the easiest way for me to find new solo games to throw Camellia stuff at. Oh, nice double. We got a... I didn't know we got a free hypercube out of that. That's exciting. But I follow a lot of tabletop creators, and there's a lot of people doing Frozen Tundra Finds, like that. The concept that I'm like, oh yeah, it's edited down, clearly edited down from a longer video, and it's a 1-minute snippet. That type of thing for tabletop games, and I think the being able to elevator pitch games like that is a very valuable skill. Okay. Is there a match? Okay, there's a match I can make to not have to use this guy, which means there's a match I can do that for. Oh, if we could get a triangle right here. Maybe we do something like this. If we make these two columns fall often enough, we can maybe try and shake a triangle out of the... Yes, perfect. Good at the video game. This is what happens when I use my brain. I'm so pumped for this. I know I shouldn't, like, you know, advertise myself while I'm advertising myself, but, like, I'm so excited for this Monster of the Week game. I have been off and on trying to find a group who's willing to get on camera for a long time, and I'm very excited about it. Which, that's coming later today. I don't know if I could stress that enough. Yeah, I guess I could do that. That's fine. I'm very excited about it. I've mentioned the setting that this game is in passing a few times, but I don't think it's ever come up on camera. Alright, I think we're just gonna do that. And then that makes two big kaboom. I don't know, I also just like... Back to the TikTok of it all. I definitely, like, I don't really care for short form video. Like, it's... If it is put in front of me, I'll watch plenty of it, right? Just, like, that's how the mechanisms of that algorithm work. Is it's meant to suck you into, like, oh, that was neat. Oh, that was neat. Oh, that was neat. Huh, I didn't know that. Oh, that was neat. You know, you just keep scrolling to find more. But, like, I like things that take their time. I like things that meander off and do other stuff, you know? Ooh, speaking of things, we kind of had to leave out of the 10 years of stuff is a lot of the making and mending. I felt like there wasn't really room for that today, which is unfortunate because, like, it's not just mending clothes, although that's I've been doing a lot of that lately. It's also like I said, that the PlayStation controller, which is definitely on screen somewhere, this PlayStation controller, who refused to work today for some reason, but normally works. We actually fixed it on screen. And I quite enjoyed that process. I would not mind I would not mind maybe streaming to the Discord while I've been meaning to. Gariki, that's fantastic. There's a very specific bound that I like them to yes and. I like my videos like that because I like them in a very specific range and very and easily easily handled. What was I saying? Something about mending and making. Oh yes, I have a book reader on the shelf behind me. So I've got this book reader, which is very politely holding our gunpowder green tea. It's doing a great job. But I also have a second one that's got a dead battery that'd be very easy to. I told another friend coincidentally just a few days ago, I like the concept of shorts or clips, but not to the extent that they cater to short extension spans instead of short time available, which is an important difference a lot of people aren't getting. Yeah, I do prefer when it leans into like you don't have a lot of time. I think that's what makes it, that's part of what makes it so addictive to me, is just catching 2, 3, 4, 5 of them while I'm like sitting and waiting for something. It's the same sort of addictive as just like, all right, I got this cheap paperback from the bookstore and I'm gonna open it and read a couple pages while I'm waiting in line at the grocery store, you know? And it's like, it's not necessarily bad if you're using it with care, but if you're not using it with care, it's kind of frustrating. I'm actually gonna, I'm not gonna snooze this. Wait a minute, when did this guy get here? This little like this sky sailing ship, he's new. I was talking about paperback books, and then I didn't notice a new thing being added. I say as if that's not like a thing that would fit in like 60% of the older used bookstore paperbacks I've been reading lately. I discorded you my book collection, allegedly the complete line now. I will be looking at that later because that was a very satisfying line to look at when you mentioned it the other day. I always just don't know where to start with collections like that for like, oh, is this like a good, solid collection for these myths? You know, whose bias is being applied here, yada, 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 you know? But also maybe I shouldn't think that hard about it and just be like, yeah, like I should just start with whatever collection has the most immediate appeal to me. And then from there, if a story reaches out and bites me, then I can dig farther on like actual academic interpretations to find the quote-unquote good one, you know? And I really do to expand my horizons RE, like folklore monsters in particular, not only because they're fun to read, but also like it kind of works great for like what if I took this and I spun it in a different direction for, you know, another creative project I'm working on. Like, oh, what if I rewrote, you know, for example, the game. The series has 2 newer editions, all in different percentage off for sale, and each edition smaller. Isn't that that's a real kick? That they're like, yeah, we're selling the old ones on sale, and the new ones have less stories in them. Weemp womp. Hope you didn't mind. Ads in 2.5 minutes, by the way. So you know, prepare your, make sure your body is ready. What was I saying? Oh yeah, folklore monsters like. For example, the setting we're going to be running for Monster of the Week tonight is one that we've kind of poked our heads into on stream, where it's a bunch of people shrunken down in a mad scientist basement to be about 6-7 inches tall. And so that makes for a really great way to be like, okay, this traditional folklore monster normally does XYZ, right? What does it look like for this folklore monster to be interpreted through the lens of this other setting? How would I have to change it to make it make sense as like either make sense in the setting as like something that would this mad scientist would make on a whim, or make it make sense in the sense of like how would it still retain the bite that the original story gave it, so to speak. And it's a really interesting writing exercise, and like it makes it having a broader base of folkloric monsters and cryptids to work with than the standard like, ooh, it's an evil spooky deer who's leaking oil-based fluid, you know. Don't get me wrong, I love an evil deer. It's a great trope, and it's very entertaining. It's just been being done a lot lately. So, like, my impulse is to dig deeper and be like, okay, what's beyond the basics here? How can I make it more interesting than it already is? And, like, how to do that. And, like, especially with, like, cultures that are at a large cultural distance from my culture, so to speak, it then also becomes a really fun challenge of how do I interpret this with care and with the care and respect being clear, you know? Like, I want to, if I'm gonna be borrowing someone's cultural idea, I want to do it carefully. I don't want to just be like hee hee hoo hoo. And that's also an interesting challenge for me. It's an interesting needle to thread. I've never claimed to be a good writer, by the way. in speaking of challenging myself as a writer, like I feel that I feel that I write plenty and I have a great time doing it, but I've never claimed for it to be good. TM, you know what I mean? Like, it's not. I don't expect to be taught in an English class. I just like to, you know, it's fun to flex a muscle. You don't have to be, especially when it comes to artistic pursuits, you don't have to be perfectly good at something. Sometimes just fooling around and seeing what comes of it is the fun. Which has been a lot of the, oh, the ads are running. Well, okay. But like, that's been a lot of the fun of what I've been doing all this mending and embroidering for, is like me going, okay, I'm not traditionally, I'm starting from a base of not being good at this. What happens when I interpret these things this way? What happens if I do it that way? You know, like, and sometimes it doesn't work. For example, all of the patches that I'm currently in the process of repatching because I didn't add any whip stitching around the holes in the fabric, and so then that means that I have to redo the patches because the holes have expanded. Like, that's a learning experience for me. Just like picking up a medium and seeing what I can take of it. Okay, we're gonna dump out in the ad break here, we're gonna dump out the silver needle leaves into the spent water that heated the teaware earlier. And then we're gonna gently apply the gunpowder green leaves. In you go, little leaves. Was there a better way to do this? Absolutely. Did I do it that way? No. But we've still got the large Gimme Some mug of Silver Needle here, if you would like to redeem that. While we're changing teas, I'd also like to point out the other half of the Gimme Some redeem. The small Gimme Some just lets you enjoy a little sippy from the little sippy sized cup. Also, while I'm you know, yarning, I would also like to remind you that I have a podcast. It's called Paper Cuts. It's the one with the blue snowy background when you click on it. Unfortunately, Paper Cuts is a very good name for a podcast, and so a whole bunch of people have been like, I'm gonna name my podcast Paper Cuts. And so there's a lot of podcasts named with that same name. But thankfully I have not found any that also do live audiobook. I think I need another mug for this gunpowder green. I have 13 seconds to go grab a mug. Let me just do that real quick. Just deedle. 13 seconds. Mugma. Mugma tea. I think it also tried to give me a hint the second I went and... Oh, are we out of Bejeweled time? No, we're out of Bejeweled time. The ad going off means we're out of time for Bejeweled. Next up is Zelda Oracle of Seasons. Oh, I do owe you guys Oracle of Seasons, though, is the thing. Okay. Tell you what, we're gonna do this just to set off the one big thing. And we're gonna go to the menu. We're gonna go back to the main menu. Okay. No, we're Bejeweled. Sorry, Bejeweled. Goodbye. Okay, now we need not Notepad, not that. We also don't need the Stardew Valley capture anymore. We also don't need the PopCap games. We need Elgato. And then I need to turn on my Switch. And then we can... Ow! Stub my toe! Ouchie! Then we can do this. And then the Switch should turn on. Yeah! This thing is still begging me to play, Ring Fit. Oh, system update. I guess I have to, because this is through the Nintendo Online doodly deet is how we're gonna be playing it, because I don't have a cartridge for Oracle of Seasons. I had a cartridge for Oracle of Ages I was working off of when back in the day, as it were, but we didn't have one for Oracle of Seasons, and I was like, well, I'll figure that out when I finished Oracle of Ages, and then I just didn't. We just didn't play Oracle of Seasons. So, weemp, comma, womp. These green leaves should be open enough by now. So in they go. 1, 2. These actually might even be a little over steeped, but it's fine. Nobody's gonna explode about it unless I explode. Listen, if I start vibrating and turning red, that's why. Okay, let's see what's here. Where is my, not Super Nintendo, not NES, but Game Boy? No, not It Takes Two. No, not It Takes Two. I need the Game Boy. The Game Boy. Could you not stab me? I guarantee you that was said in response to one of my cats.